Hello, my dear, wonderful, beautiful, stunning, fabulous patrons. I am thankfully not that sick this week, and I have a very exciting stream, because today we're doing a makeup test for Momo ISA, Miss ISA, ISA-san from Don Da Don, my newest and most beloved obsession. So I wasn't even gonna, start on the Momo, this week, you know? We came back from ALA last week, the beginning of last week, and I wanted to start working on that vlog, but I've been sick. So I'll lay you in a little bit on, how I produce my vlogs. So I used to go in and feel like I had to kind of dedicate a lot of time at the con to talking to the camera and walking through what was going on, or what I needed to do. Like if you go back to the big can this cosplay win an international contest video, you know, there's a part where I'm sitting on the bathroom floor and I'm explaining prejudging. Which I could have just done in voiceover, you know, but I decided to do it at the con because I felt like I needed lots of footage of me sitting and talking at the con, which the Ren Fair video proved that I did not need to do that at all, and that's a good thing because I kind of hate doing that, you know? So the way I do my vlogs now is I just go to the con and I film. I just get shots of whatever is interesting, whatever's going on. I try to get a lot of shots of, the area and, what the con looks like and, how, the layout of the con, because I also think a lot about, if I was watching this as a viewer, I would want to get a good sense of, what this con looks like and how it's situated, to the point where, if I wanted to go to this con, I can see, oh, this looks pretty, I want to go be there. Or maybe, oh, there's lots of stairs at this con, and I don't see an elevator, and that wouldn't work for me. Stuff like that. Showing people what the vibe is. I feel like that's a pretty important thing. So I like to just get a lot of shots of, what looks like. And then I don't have any idea what I'm gonna be talking about over that, but I know I want it, and so I get it. And then if my friends say something funny, at this point, what I do is I whip my phone out, and this is a fun trick, and you can actually hear me say this in videos, is I either say, can you say that again? Can you say that again louder? Or what did you just say? And then they will repeat it. And 9 times out of 10, they repeat it just as naturally as, they had the first time, which is wonderful. But it's because I'm saying something simple like, what did you just say, to get them to repeat it. Because if I whip my phone out and I was like, can you do that for the vlog? Then it becomes everybody clams up. And then if they say something funny, it's in the vlog. But if not, then in the voiceover, I'm like, oh, I hung out with my friends. But once I have all, you know, I come home, I have shot all of this wonderful stuff at the con. I know the story of the weekend. And what I do is I make a list of every little thing that happened at the con. You know, we went to Holiday Runway, and then we went to dinner, and then the elevator broke, and then that was the end of that day, and then the next day we did this and we did that, and then I just have a bullet point list of everything that happened, and then I go through and I just start writing about what those things were, and I write everything that happened, and I tell the story of the weekend in the written word, and then I take that and I record it, and then I take what I have recorded and I take all of the footage that I have and I make the footage fit that story. I make the footage pair with the story to make it tell the story. And if there's any funny sound bites in there, they go in where they fit within the story. Okay, this is not the time to be, I'm looking at my pictures of Momo up here. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting my story about vlogs that is going to lead into eventually why I got this wig done this week. But I'm also just noticing Momo has, like, short little eyebrows. But we're just gonna have regular eyebrows, because God knows when Sarah tries to do weird stuff, it just doesn't turn out right. Anyway, that's how I make a vlog now, okay? And it takes a lot of the pressure off of me when I'm at the con, which is wonderful, because I never liked doing the things where I have to sit there and explain what's going on, and there's usually, Joe's in the room, sometimes Joe's little brother, like when we take Joe's little brother to MomoCon with us, and I, like, don't feel comfortable, like, being a YouTuber in front of them all the time, because normally when I'm, like, sitting here talking to the camera, Joe's not in the room. It feels weird to perform in front of people that you're not performing to, but now I just don't do that, and I just let it happen, which is the most wonderful thing, because then it's, like, even more authentic of, like, here's what happened. I'm not going to tell you what happened in the moment. I'll tell you what happened later when I'm at home, in the comfort of my home. But anyway, that's how I do a vlog now. And this week, I was trying to work on the ALA vlog because I've been really excited about it, because I think it's going to be a really good vlog. I think there are some really cool cosplays in that costume contest that I just want to talk about. And I'm talking a lot about, like, what we look for in judging and stuff, and, like, how some of those people really impressed me. But I've been sick, so my voice has just sounded like... I'm sure you can kind of still hear, like, the phlegm in my throat, but it was a lot worse. Y'all heard it in the live stream. I was not in recording audio shape for the beginning of this week, and it was getting to a point where I was like, I need 2 videos in February, which I will also say, this year, I have decided that I am only going to take 1 sponsorship deal a month, and so that if I want there to be only 1 video that month, then I can do that. And that if there's another one, then it's just like, cool, I don't have to rush through it, you know? It gives me a little more freedom to put stuff out when I want to. But I accidentally got myself 2 sponsors in February, so I'm like, I need 2 videos. One of them was always supposed to be ALA, and one of them is supposed to be Momo's wig. But I was like, I thought I was going to do ALA first, and then Momo's wig. But then I had the thought that, 1, I kind of don't want to put out 2 vlogs in a row. And I know everybody, a lot of y'all, raise your hand, give me hand raise emojis in the chat if you are hungry for a video of me making a thing. Raise your hands if you are hungry, because I know some of y'all are starving for a video where I just make stuff. But then the other factor was, I was like, if I just start working on this wig, and I do record some of the audio of when I'm making it, but for the most part, I was like, I can just start working on this wig and wait until my voice is better. Oh, y'all are hungry. See? People are hungry. The audio where I'm making this wig, it's okay if my voice is a little snotty, but I am not okay with, like, the main VO of a vlog. VO means voiceover. I was, like, not okay with the main VO for a vlog, which is, like, the majority of the sound in that video. Wasn't okay with that sounding nasally, so we pivoted, as they say in corporate America, we pivoted to Momo's wig, and I'm really happy that I did, because now it's done, and it looks great, and I've got the whole video shot, and I even got to record the extra voiceover that I needed for that. ALA is, like, half finished, but now what will happen is Momo's wig will come out first in February, and then ALA will come out after that. And I think the sponsors for each of those videos also make more sense with that respective video, but I gotta do eyeshadow. Oh, and I kind of filmed this video differently, like Momo's wig, too. And I think I've said before that, like, previously, so, like, at the very inception of my YouTube channel, I really cannot tell you at this point what the f I was doing. because I was just making it up as I went along. But in the last year, the way I was making my, like, making videos, I need a better term for that. I've always been hesitant to call them cosplay work logs because that was what Mango Cyrene called them. But I mean, that's what they are, really. Last year, the primary way that I did, like, making videos was I would stand at this desk and I would talk about what I was about to do, and then I would do it. But that also meant that I would go to my makeup vanity in my bedroom, do all of my makeup, come over here, stand and talk about the thing, do the thing, and then get really annoyed and tired and hot, because it gets hot in here under these lights. So the way I had been filming making stuff just, like, put up too many barriers for me to actually do the thing, because it involved, like, 3 steps prior to actually doing the thing, and it would make me put off doing the thing, and then it would take forever to get the thing done, and I didn't like that. So for this, I just started doing the thing. I didn't stand here and talk about what I was gonna do. I mic'd myself up with this little recorder. This is a Zoom H1N. I have a little lav mic, a little clip mic. I stuck my lav mic on and I put this in my pocket and I just hit record and I was like, if I say something funny, then I say something funny. But I don't have to say anything if I don't want to, because I will write the explanation and I will record VO later. So I just started doing stuff and doing that, and turns out I said a lot of funny things. So a lot of the video is literally like live audio of me doing it. That sounds a little different than the mic for the good audio. But that worked really well. It took a lot of the pressure off of me. And then when I did like get done like writing the actual explanations, I came here and I stood in front of the desk and I explained what I was gonna do. So now I also have shots of me standing at the desk that I can cut back and forth to, but it's not when I'm actually doing them. So now that part that I was dreading, which was the standing at the desk talking part, comes at the end. And it makes for basically the same kind of video, just easier for me to make in terms of like the pressure to perform. And that's an important thing, is trying to take away the pressure to perform. Because if I'm just trying to do a wig and I just say something funny, cool. If I don't say anything at all, that's cool. If y'all go to the Carolina Ren Fest's Facebook, you might see a familiar face, because they shared my video on Facebook. I'm sorry, I just moved my camera. I got too excited. They shared my video. They saw it. And I got an email that was like, hey, we loved your video. They called it wildly entertaining. And I was like, wildly entertaining? What? They sent me an email and they were basically like, if you want to come back, we will give you free tickets and free tickets for all of your friends. They like also recognized how funny and wonderful my friends were. The power of friendship, y'all. How beautiful. Okay, and then it gets better. Anyway, so then I was like, yeah, we're probably gonna come back next year. Thanks, awesome. And then they sent me another email and he sent me this long explanation being like, hey, I also saw your critique about the water fountain and I talked to our like construction people, and unfortunately like that would be like a huge plumbing project and it's something we'd really want to have in the future, but we definitely like talked about it. But also your note about how the water fountains are not on the map, we are making that change. A round of applause for I think he was like the head of marketing or something at the Carolina Ren Fair. And he does the maps himself. And he's like, I am personally putting the water fountains on the map for you. And I was like, when people listen, when people listen, it's wonderful. How sweet and commendable. Like, we had a great time at that Ren Fair, and that really is... My only real critiques of that Ren Fair are, be aware that those are porta potties, and, like, try to time your pee-pees and your water consumption so that you're not constantly having to go to the bathroom, which is true for most Ren Fairs, but, like, apparently the Texas Ren Fair has, like, real bathrooms, which is really weird for a Ren Fair. Like, no Ren Fairs have that. Most of the time it's porta potties. The Georgia Ren Fair rents, like, the really nice porta potties, but Carolina is just the nice porta potties that have, like, the individual doors and stuff. Like, the Georgia Ren Fair gets the nice ones, like, the kind you'd get for, like, a wedding. Carolina's is just, like, the standard ones, but, like, that's okay. That's okay. I don't come to the Ren Fair to go to the bathroom. I loved that so much that they listened. Pennsylvania Ren Fair has physical bathrooms? That's crazy. The Ren Fair I went to had bathrooms. I guess 2 people are attesting that the Pennsylvania Ren Fair has bathrooms. That's interesting. I might look into that. Isn't there, like, a thing that you're not supposed to tightline your eyes? Because if you're not supposed to, then, like, how do you get the eyeliner to look right? You know what I mean? Because especially with, like, my eyelashes are transparent. They are red, but they are so light that they are transparent. So I have, like, nothing to work with on my waterline that looks like eyeliner. You know what I mean? Also, okay, is Mac still here? Because I think Mac is one of the people that recommended, like, the Stila eyeliner. I have bought this twice now. It's like the expensive-ier eyeliner. My complaint with this thing is I feel like this dries out really fast, and my actual new favorite liquid eyeliner is the incredibly cheap Essence 24-hour ink. This one's like $3 or $4. It's the same company as these. I know these mascaras are, like, really, really popular, and they're really cheap. But first of all, these mascaras are really good. This eyeliner is also pretty good. I feel like this hardly ever dries out. Like, it lasts a lot longer. I feel like the first time I used this, it's like, whoa, so good. But then it dried out really fast. And I know you're, like, supposed to, you know, keep it down this way, and there's other things you can do to get them to, like, not dry out. But this one I don't have to do to, which is great. Okay, I got it. This is the maximum concentration, so we're doing the one size liquid eyeliner is a good buy at NYX. Okay, I like the NYX Epic ink, but I don't like the brush on that one. I like this size of brush. It's, like, tiny. I don't like, the nib. It's not a nib. Or, not a brush. It's not a brush, it's a nib. I like the felt nibs. I do not like actual brushes. I cannot do that. Okay. Whew. Are y'all, when y'all do eyeliner, if you do winged eyeliner, do you do outer corner first, or you start from the inside? Because I do the outer wing first and then come back and do the inside. For me, the hard part is getting that outer part's, like, shape right. But then the inside is, like, doing the inside is easier. It's just a matter of not blinking and, like, being really steady. See, this is another problem I have, is I feel like whenever I do my eyeliner, I have to use 2 different eyeliners, because by the time I'm doing, like, the filling in, one of them is dry. Inner eye is hard because my eyelashes get in the way. I don't have that problem. My eyelashes are small. Speaking of eyelashes, I'm gonna put on eyelashes. Now, this is the thing I can give people tips about. Okay. I have never gotten onto the magnetic eyelashes train, and for good reason. I'm allergic to nickel, and the idea of putting some kind of metallic substance on my body sounds like a recipe for a rash. I've never tried them. That might be a totally irrational fear. But I do know how to do it with the good old glue. And I put it on, you want like that much. Focus. 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 I gotta do the thing. Now this tip, this thing I do has confused so many people over the years when I have been in hotel rooms with them. But I got this tip from the omnipotent and wonderful Raja Gemini, the winner of the 3rd season of RuPaul's Drag Race. When she puts on a lash, she does this. Or when she's getting a lash ready. Not hot air. Because first of all, your goal is to get the glue to dry. The funny thing though is every time I do that, if I'm like in a hotel room with other people and I'm in the bathroom and they just hear me go, they're like, "What's wrong, Sarah?" They think I'm like sighing, but I'm not sighing. I'm blowing on my lash like the omnipotent Raja Gemini. And then you put them on the table or somewhere that's maybe actually clean. You leave them and you let the glue dry. Because the more dry the glue is, the easier it is to get them to stick immediately. Lashes are so hard, but the cosplays feel naked without them. It's true. It's the wig effect, right? When you put on a wig, it's like the rule that when you first get a wig for a character, like, do not put it on without putting on makeup. If you put on a wig that is like unnatural hair and you have not unnaturally enhanced your face, you're gonna be like, I hate this. I look washed out. Because you do look washed out. Because that, maybe that hair is like bright red and you've got nothing on your face. And then you hate it. Now, I'm not saying you have to wear makeup with cosplay. You absolutely do not. If you like have a skin condition or you just like don't like wearing makeup, then don't wear makeup with cosplay. What I'm saying is if you do normally wear makeup and you buy a wig and you put it on without makeup and you hate it, put it on again with makeup. Look at that. She's on there. I'm using pretty small lashes for Momo because, again, she's not like a fancy lady. All right. Not fancy lady lashes are on. They look so small compared to the crazy ones I usually wear. But these are, I don't actually know what size lashes these are. I think these are like a Ardell, like regular Ardell lash. And then I put like extra lashes. Like I cut off a piece of a longer lash and put them on the ends. I can do this reveal now. Haha! We've got a Momo outfit on underneath! Oh, and accidentally the choker. Though I have a thing to tie around my neck to be the choker. I don't have an actual choker. I'm going to tie a piece of ribbon around my neck. I'll make myself a choker. I have not done anything for this cosplay yet. Oh, y'all! Y'all, Momo! What y'all think? It's Momo dun 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 dun. I think it looks pretty good. Yeah, look at these bangs. Look at these bangs. And they are like, let me like, and like watch this. They're in there good. It might not be stupid proof. Like I don't think I could throw this down the stairs, but it's definitely like decently stupid proof. I would definitely, when, like wearing it to a con, this is a lace front. Easy. And I have a sideburn piece here that I would like, if you don't know this trick, a thing you can do to stick, first of all, you can use Got to Be Glued as like lace spray. Like you can like fully glue your lace fronts down. I don't think that's super necessary at all for cosplay. But when you have like a sideburn piece on any wig, even not just a lace front, if you spray Got to Be Glued on your face and then stick it down and smush it into the Got to Be Glued, it will stick to your face all day. You can also use lash glue for that. I tend to use Got to Be Glued because it doesn't damage the wig and it doesn't put too much damage in your lace either. Is anybody else watching Severance Season 2? Because Severance is the best show that has ever been on television, period. Like, I am convinced at this point. I was a little bit worried that season 2 was gonna come in and be, like, not as good. Season 2 is killing it. If you have not seen Severance, it's on Apple TV Plus. It's so good. Has anyone read the Lexington letter? Because me and Joe just recently read the Lexington letter. And oh my god, y'all, the Lexington letter. I love this. Like, this show is so good. It's directed by Ben Stiller. The less you know about it, the better. And I just gave this pitch to my mom. I'll give you a very simple elevator pitch. Okay, so Severance is about a world where there is a procedure where you can split your brain essentially in half to go to work. So when you go to work, you go down an elevator and then you wake up having not remembered anything that happened in your workday, and you're coming back up the elevator and you're done with work. You just worked for 8 hours, but you don't remember any of it. To you, nothing happened. You like fell asleep for 8 hours. You did nothing. But what does that mean for the person that is doing the work? Because you are still working. Your brain is just cut off. And that person on the inside doesn't have any of your memories or know anything about you. And the worst part is they never leave work. They leave work and then they wake up they don't wake up. They wake up in the elevator still working. They never leave work. They never stop working. What kind of life is that for them?